Hi guys, this is Layla. Today we'll speak about the reactions of amines, their types, and something about the properties. Okay, starting with the homework from the last video. The first question was show the reaction between acetic acid and ethanol. Okay, so it's an esterification. You're going to remove a water molecule and you're gonna form an ester bond. So what are you going to get? Starting with the alcohol first, you're going to get an ethyl and then the acid, ethanoate or acetate. The second question, you had to show the reaction between acetic acid again and acyl chloride. So you're going to get an anhydride. You're going to remove HCl and you're going to get acetic anhydride. And here is the anhydride bond. For the third question, you had to show the reaction between propanoic acid and phosphorus pentachloride. So you're going to get a propyl chloride and POCl3 and HCl. And the last question, I had given you the product and you had to tell me the name of the product and the reactants. So this was what the product looked like, and you can see that there is an ester bond, so it has to be an ester. So let's try to guess the alcohol first. So you can see there are 3 carbons, so that is going to be propane, so propanol. And you can see that there are 4 carbons from the acid, so it has to be butanoic acid and propanol, giving us propyl butanoate. Starting with our lesson for today, amines, they're NH2 groups or simply with nitrogen. You have 3 types, primary, secondary, and tertiary. Primary is with a single alkyl group with NH2. Secondary is 2 alkyl groups with NH, and tertiary will be 3 alkyl groups without any hydrogens. Primary is least basic. The secondary is the most basic, and the tertiary is more basic than primary but less basic than secondary. And we're comparing these 3 with ammonia, which is the least basic. Speaking about cyclic amines, amines that are not conjugated or they lack double bonds, they are more basic than the ones with double bonds because they're electrophilic groups. And the phenol shows very slightly basic characteristics, so it is less basic than ammonia. And then we have ammonia, which is a very weak base. If you had to compare aniline, which is cyclic compound, double bonds, so it is a weak base, but if you had to compare that with ammonia, then ammonia is more basic than aniline because ammonia lacks the electrophilic group of benzene. Now let's look at these compounds. So cyclohexylamine, most basic, cyclic, no double bonds. Aniline, double bonds, but only one cyclic structure. And then you have this structure, which has two cyclic chains, hence more electrophilicity and hence least basic. So here's an example of a primary amine. So this is ethylamine. Then you have an example of a secondary amine, which will have 2 alkyl groups, so dimethylamine. And then you have an example of a tertiary, which is triethylamine. Now, all of them, when you react them with nitrous acid, you're going to get different compounds, and this is a good experiment to differentiate between these three groups. So when you reacted with primary, you get nitrogen gas and a clear solution. With secondary, you will get a yellow product, and with tertiary, you get a clear solution with no nitrogen gas. You get a solution of an ammonium salt. Starting with the reaction of amines with acid, for example HCl, the product is a salt. You do not have a side product, you just add this HCl to the amine. So it's going to look like this. And this is known as methyl ammonium chloride. Type of reactions is amines with acyl chlorides. And when you have acyl chlorides, you're going to get an amide. So here we have methylamine, a primary amine. We will react it with acyl chloride. And what are we going to get? An amide. What kind of amide? It depends on the acyl chloride. So we're going to get an acetanamide and HCl as a side product. It is like a condensation reaction. Another one could be reaction of amines with aldehydes. Now the products are Schiff bases. So here we have a primary amine, methylamine, and then you have ethanol or acetaldehyde. So you're going to get a triple bond between the nitrogen and the C, and this bond is very specific for Schiff bases. Okay, and you get water as a side product because you lose one H from nitrogen and a HO from the aldehyde. That is it for today's video. Now we will move on to homework. So my first question is, show me the reaction between aniline and formaldehyde. So you know the structure of formaldehyde, it is C1, and aniline I'll show you because I haven't taught you. So aniline is an amine group attached to a benzene molecule. Alright, question number 2 is show the reaction of dimethylamine with HCl and name the product. Question number 3 is show the reaction between aniline and acyl chloride. Alright guys, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.